Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hello, everyone. We're going to, this week, focus on the crown chakra, on the crown of the head, the top of the head. And as usual, we're going to start with a pranayama, breathing exercise. We always work on a pranayama that balances the chakra we are working on. Today, the crown chakra is Nadi Shodhana. We've done Nadi Shodhana a few times. Alternative nostril breathing can be used for many purposes, has a lot of benefits. One of them is to balance the energies and to balance the left side of the brain with the right side of the brain. But it's also the nominated pranayama to balance the crown of the head chakra, the energy channel, the energy wheel we have on the top of our head. We'll do Nadi Shodhana, and then we'll move on into something else. If you don't remember what Nadi Shodhana is, or if this is your first time in this class, I'll explain you first. So with your two peace fingers, you're going to place them in between your eyebrows, which is your third eye chakra. And you're going to cover the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Exhale through the left. And we do this cycle a few times. At some point, I will ask you to add retention. Retention is to hold the breath in between every inhale and exhale, and you hold it for as long as you can. So I'll show you first. Inhale through the left. Hold. Exhale through the right. Hold. Inhale through the right. Hold. Exhale through the left. So I didn't hold for too long because it was just to show you, but you can hold for a little bit longer. You don't want to do anything that it's going to start making you feel like you're gasping for air and your lungs are struggling. You want to do it in a way that feels comfortable throughout. So make it short retention to start with. And if you feel like you can increase a little bit the retention, then go for it. At some point, you might feel like you need to clean your nose because it gets a little bit sticky in there. Go ahead and do that. Don't stay with the struggle of inhale or exhale. Just clean your nose, blow the nose out, and get back into the breathing. Okay, let's just do a deep inhale first. Full exhale out. And if you're ready to start your Nadi Shodhana, go ahead. If you haven't already, you want to start to regulate the breathing. So if you inhale for a count of 5 or 8, you exhale for a count of 5 or 8 for the same count. Very often the inhales can happen in a much slower way because we have to put a lot more effort to breathe in. The exhales very often tend to be very sharp and quick. And we want to aim for the exhales to be longer than the inhale. But if you're not there yet, just regulate the inhale with the exhale so that they have the same length, the same count. And if your arm gets tired, you can always change hands. Finish the round you're in and start to integrate your retention. And the retention might have less counts than the inhale and the exhale, especially if you're starting with Nadi Shodhana retention. Probably recommend to just hold the breath for a count of 4 or 5. And the count also helps us to stay connected, stay focused onto the breathing. Our mind is such an amazing machine that even when we are busy breathing, practicing a pranayama, it still manages to wander and go and start thinking about things. So the counting helps you to stay focused on your breath. But really we want to practice this single focused, where we're paying attention to the here and now, which is the breathing, rather than the thoughts, which are either past or future. The importance of pranayama is not only the fact that it plays with our nervous system in ways that are sometimes beyond our understanding, but it also, on a much easier way to understand, it uses our lung capacity like we never use during our day-to-day life or day-to-day activities. In our day-to-day life, we use probably 20% of our lungs capacity. And when we do different pranayamas with retention or no retention, we are actually going into areas of the lung that we don't use much. We are strengthening the muscles around the lungs, the rib cage, of all the lung area, cardiovascular area. Sometimes we only think about muscles as being those, the leg muscles, the arm muscles, the core muscles, but there's all these are the little muscles connecting the organs to each other, connecting the organs to the walls of the body, to the bone structure. Finish the round you're in and do 2 more. And when you finish your 2 rounds, you rest your hands onto your knees and stay with your eyes closed. And just allow yourself to come into a natural breathing. And if you have finished your Nadi Shodhana and the mind is already wanting to go for what's next, just say to yourself to rest here in this place where your energy body, your prana body, has had a renewal of energy, of breath, and feel into that renewal. Are you feeling more relaxed, more tense? Is the heartbeat more accelerated or calm? Are there any other sensations in your body, maybe feet or legs or arms, hands? Become an investigator. Very often, if we are not used to sit still for longer periods of time, even if 10 or 15 minutes is nothing in our day, usually there is always little hindrance that come our way. Some tingle somewhere in the face or an itchiness in the back, pain on the legs or on the hips, some uncomfortable feeling on the shoulders or neck. And this is just normal, that the body or the mind, it's actually telling us that we're not used to be so still for this long. So it keeps poking us with distractions. And we are not going to ignore the distractions. They are not there to be ignored. But before we attend them, before we move, we're going to notice the area where it takes place. Notice how it feels. You might notice some texture or color or temperature. We breathe into it. And then if it's still remaining, we can attend to it. Sometimes, until we don't get used to be sitting for meditation, we might need to adjust our posture. Or whilst we are practicing this muscle of controlling the mind, we might need to attend the itchiness or the tingle. But instead of reacting to it, if we act on the sensation in a very conscious manner, we are already in a place of controlling the mind. The practice of controlling the mind will lead us to this place where we can stay still, nothing to do, The breathing happens by itself. The body settles into a meditation practice, settles into a posture, a pose that it is comfortable. And lead us to this place where we are awake and aware. The distractions come but go without affecting our state of presence. And meditation is the only practice where we can access Sahasrara, crown chakra. Sahasrara that produces the energy of consciousness. Consciousness which is beyond the body and the mind, the intellect. And the purpose for the crown chakra is to awaken, to become enlightened, to understand. As humans, we have a highly sophisticated consciousness that gives us the ability to feel, speak, hear, touch, plan, organize, receive, send information. We have this ability to perceive incredible detail of the world. We can think of ourselves as the body like the hardware, a computer hardware or a mobile phone. And conscious is the software that we install in the computer or the telephones or the music or the apps that we install in the phone, in the mobile phone. So like the numbers, the pictures we store, all those things that we have in our mobile phone. Conscious is our software. We're born in this body with a structure of bones and muscles and connective tissue. And then we were integrated and we had a software installed which helps us to know who is our family, who is not. Allowed us to learn to read, to speak, receive a certain education. Lots of different softwares have been installed in our body from the moment we were born. The element of the crown chakra is silence. And some also say thought, but not an overthinking thought, more the process of understanding. But silent, it's more applicable since the objective of the crown chakra is to stay centered. And this can be a challenge if we are constantly surrounded by noise, distractions, loud voices, visual effects in our eyes, constantly advertising, billboards. And it is the silence that the meditation practice brings to us that helps us to balance Sahasrara. Sahasrara, which means 1,000-petal lotus. A lotus, which is a flower that rises from murky waters, from dirty waters, dark waters, rises to the top through the darkness, through the dirty water. And when it reaches the outside of the water, it opens into 1,000 petals. Through the meditation of practice, we are helping consciousness to navigate through the noise that it's around us, the overthinking, overworrying, too much demand from the external world. And when the consciousness rises the top of silence, it awakens, it opens the 1,000-petal lotus. Start to breathe deeply. Bring your hands together, rub the hands together, create some heat between your palms. Cup the hands into your eyelids and allow the eyelids to absorb the heat. 2 more. You can gently open the eyes. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Have a great evening. Namaste.